There was a story that a church bought a new building, and a few years later, there was a building next to the church. That building was purchased by someone else, and that new owner used the building for a bar. The bar was so busy all the time, and they are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. A couple of years later, the bar owner decided to expand his business. Not only expand the bar, but he decided to add a nightclub to his business. The church people were not happy about it at all. They were not happy about the bar, now a nightclub next to their church. The church decided to pray and ask God to do something to stop the expansion. They were praying and praying, and the bar owner was aware of the church's position. He was aware of their prayer for God to stop their expansion. And one day, a natural disaster happened, and the bar was destroyed completely. Even the new facility they are trying to add as a nightclub. The bar owner, so upset, and sued the church. When they got to the court, the judge asked or went through all the papers and asked the church, do you recognize or do you accept the accusation that the plaintiff brought against you? And the church denied all responsibility. But the plaintiff was so detailed that the judge didn't know what to do. The judge was forced to take a recession. He went to the back room and thought about the situation. He came back. As he sat down, he said, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go with this case. And he asked the church again, do you recognize all this I read before me? Do you recognize praying for God to stop the expansion? The church again denied all responsibility. And the judge said, I can't believe. The thing that confused me the most is that I could not believe that the people that are not a Christian, the people that are not following God, are now believing in the power of the prayer. And the church people are now denying the power of the prayer. I just cannot wrap my hand around it. I cannot comprehend it. That the church will deny the power of God, and those who are not a Christian now believing in the power of God. So the judge sent everybody home, say, give me time to think about this thing. We need to come back later for the trial. Don't we, my friend, my sister, my brother, don't we sometimes act or behave like this church? That we refuse to acknowledge the power or the work of God, even though we pray for the situation, doubt, or sometimes we still refuse to acknowledge it. Remember Peter, his friends that were praying so Peter can be free. When Peter was free and he came at the door, they were in disbelief. They could not believe that Peter was at the door. You see that? You pray for something and God answers you. And now you still doubt if God really did it. You know, with God, yes is an answer, and no is an answer too. Because God's answer is the most or the appropriate one. When God says no, that means that it's not appropriate for you. So you ask God something, and God answers you exactly the way you want it, but you still have a hard time to believe it. So how will you act when God says no to your prayer? My friend, you remember what the judge said. The judge said, I cannot believe. My frustration and my confusion is that those who are not following God, those who are not believers, are now believing in the power of prayer. And those who are Christian, those who are praying, now denying the power of God. Who are you? Do you call yourself a Christian? But if you call yourself a Christian, do your people that are around you, do they believe in God better than you? Do you just go to church? Do you just pray because they say to pray, but you don't really believe that God can hear your prayer and act upon it? What is your position? How strong is your faith when you start praying, ask God to do something for you? Will you believe when God acts on your behalf? My friend, how shameful it is, so that the unbelievers will recognize the power of God than you that call yourself a Christian. The Bible said, if anyone reject me or deny me in the front or in the presence of men, Jesus said, I will also deny you before my Father. Could you at this moment pray and ask God to give you a strength, to give you courage, to give you a determination, to give you a faith that can move you to acknowledge God in all your activities, to acknowledge God everywhere you go, to acknowledge God in your life, so that the people can see the glory of God through your life. Pray for God to give you strength.